Houston strikes again. Two violent acts committed by the same scumbag. 90-year-old veteran killed in a carjacking by the same guy who robbed a student at gunpoint. Let's check it out.
To fatally shooting a 90-year-old Navy veteran during a carjacking, chose him because he thought he wouldn't put up a fight.
In court today, prosecutors said the suspect confessed to the crime. Jason Miles live downtown with new reaction to this disturbing case. Jason?
Hey there, guys. Yeah, the suspect's defense attorney requested a $100,000 bond on the murder charge, something the judge denied, describing the crime himself as, quote, atrocious. Appearing in criminal court for the first time, 21-year-old Khalil Arsenault received hefty bonds for capital murder and related crimes.
And currently the bonds are set at $7,125,000 in total.
Arsenault is accused of fatally shooting 90-year-old Nelson Beckett last weekend during a carjacking outside Beckett's Southwest Houston Assisted Living Facility. In court, prosecutors said Arsenault confessed to picking the Navy veteran to rob because he wouldn't put up a fight.
The defendant has struck the complainant several times with his firearm before shooting him fatally, and then continued to strike him after that before robbing him, taking the keys to his car. Once inside of that car, the defendant then drove the vehicle over the complainant's body.
Beckett's car was found at an apartment complex about
This terrible, terrible situation. Imagine somebody having the mind to do something like that, to go after a 90-year-old man because he's on a walker. You know he can't really fight back. You shoot him, beat him up, and then run him over. It's crazy.
3 miles from the crime scene, allegedly with Arsenault's fingerprints inside. Prosecutors say surveillance cameras also caught him trying to wipe down the car and tossing out a bloody shirt. Additionally, they say a gun found during Arsenault's arrest preliminarily matches the one used to kill Mr. Beckett.
As you can imagine, our hearts just break for his family. Any time that you have such a senseless act of gun violence, it leaves such a trail, such a wake behind it, and there's no reason that this family shouldn't have their loved one with them today.
Beckett's son told us this week that his father used the car he lost his life over to help others in need of transportation.
If he had died in his sleep, he would have lived a full life. But it's just senseless and cruel for someone to do that.
In addition to capital murder, Arsenault is charged with tampering with evidence and 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, accused of pointing a gun at 2 witnesses who tried to help Mr. Beckett. And Arsenault's defense attorney declined an interview after today's hearing. He did argue for a lower bond because of his client's lack of a violent criminal past.
Yeah, that doesn't
live
matter.
Downtown, Jason Miles,
Lack of a violent past. I'm sorry. You just committed a very heinous crime on a 90-year-old man. You want a lower bond? Sorry, not happening. Anyway, let's keep going to this next story with the same guy robbing a student at gunpoint.
The suspect has been identified in the robbery of a University of Houston student last week.
That student was held up at gunpoint inside his own dorm room.
And we've learned it is the same man who prosecutors say killed a 90-year-old veteran during a carjacking on Saturday.
Matt Doherty is speaking with the U of H student tonight. He is there on campus with a story you'll see only on KHOU 11 News. Matt?
The U of H student says after knowing what happened last weekend, he's lucky he survived.
End up dead, like what happened with him.
University of Houston sophomore Ricardo Dyer saw his life flash before his eyes late last month when he woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom.
It was about 3 a.m. and I just had to use the bathroom, so I had left my dorm. And I left the door like a little open because I couldn't find my key, and I just really had to use the bathroom, so I just left. And when I came back, the door was closed, and I heard something in my room, so I knew something was up. But before I knew it, somebody just came out and rushed me.
2 men had gotten inside of his dorm room, both with guns now pointed at Ricardo.
I just stayed calm, just stayed still, had my hands up. Just let them know I ain't had nothing on me. I was in the threat or nothing. Just let them take whatever they wanted.
Everything happened fast. Ricardo says the thieves took his cell phone after it fell out of his pocket when he was pushed. He says he'd been posting Instagram stories about his new watch and thinks it likely made him a target for the men.
I got me a Cartier. They took my watch box, so I don't know if they was trying to take my watch, but it was an empty box. My watch getting fixed at the jeweler right now.
After that, he says the men ran off.
No, that's not smart. We don't boast about stuff on social media. Make yourself a target and share your location. That's crazy. I don't do it. I don't do things like that. I don't turn on my location and share what I'm doing. You won't even find me on social media unless it has to do with, this channel or the merchandise. But you won't see my face anywhere. But it's crazy. It's, don't boast about what you have, because that's what happened. That's what happened to somebody in LA got killed. I think it was a rapper, and the girl he was with posted that she was with him at a restaurant or something, having breakfast, and then 3 guys pull up, and now he's dead. Was it a setup? Who knows? But anyway, you don't boast about things online.
After that whole situation that happened, I just be looking over my shoulder every second. I'm just real paranoid now after that whole situation.
Today, Ricardo learned one of the suspects had been caught. 21-year-old Khalil Arsenault has been in custody since Wednesday, but not for the robbery at Moody Towers. He's charged with capital murder, accused of shooting 90-year-old Navy veteran Nelson Beckett, then running him over with his car outside of the elderly man's assisted living apartment complex on Saturday in southwest Houston. Prosecutors say Arsenault told authorities he targeted Beckett because he thought the veteran would be easy prey because he was using a walker. They say detectives were able to link Arsenault to the robbery at U of H through a security video and a tip. Since the robbery, Ricardo moved dorms to one he feels is safer, with its own personal bathroom. He also says he'll be taking it easier on Instagram.
Not posting my watch for sure, yeah.
Arsenault was free on bond when all of these crimes occurred. He's in jail now, though, held on a more than $7 million bond.
$7 million. $7 million for this guy. That's crazy. But he was out on bond already. So this guy had been in trouble before, and he was out. He committed 2 more violent acts of crime. Killed somebody, ran him over, shot him, beat him, and then he also robbed somebody at gunpoint. This is somebody who needs to be in prison for the rest of their lives. This guy is a menace to society, and we need people like him off of the streets. No, he should not be out of jail, should not be out of prison. I don't care if he doesn't have that much of a violent past on record. On record. This guy needs to be locked up for many, 50 years minimum. Put him in jail for life. Some people might even say give him the death penalty. I don't know if that's the thing in Texas. I guess it is. I don't know too much about that. Anyway, this is a crazy story, and it was sad. It was heartbreaking. So I looked into it because Houston's always having crazy things going on. I'm glad I don't live there. But I looked into it, and I found out this guy had robbed somebody at gunpoint. I mean, that's a scary situation for both people to be in. You just go to the restroom, every dorm room, and I'm glad that he switched dorm rooms and is now in a more private area. But imagine going down the hall and coming back and somebody's in your building, in your room at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you really can't do much about that. At that point, I mean, he's not armed. He went to the restroom, didn't think anything was going to happen. But the guy had the drop on him for sure. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity, and it could have turned out a lot worse, and thankfully it didn't. But it's sad that we lost a 90-year-old veteran to this scumbag. But I'm going to leave there right there. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.